the research on Tylenol and autism is inconclusive. There have been studies on this. There's some correlation. The authors of those studies themselves have said
Please,
that
it was inconclusive.
That it's inconclusive. They're there is this is that's what science is supposed to be like. Hey, we studied this. We've now found this little piece of information. Well, we need to figure out. It's totally inconclusive.
They're studying 100 different things.
Oh yes, absolutely.
That they're trying to figure out. Does this have anything to do with autism? Tylenol is one of them. You know what another one is? Old fucking dick. Old sperm.
Which actually, that one though, researchers think it is accurate.
Yes.
There's actually a lot of evidence that that is accurate.
Actually, so studies have shown a consistent association between increased paternal age and an elevated risk of autism spectrum disorder. And it's particularly pronounced for fathers aged 40 years or older, with an increased risk of up to 60% compared to fathers in their 20s.
Welcome to Seriously, the podcast that dives into the baffling.
We can't send them to a prison where there's animals, where there's livestock.
The ridiculous.
Like omelets better than sex.
And downright unbelievable political climate in red states like Louisiana.
So we can't go there. There's no vegan jail.
Seriously.
Welcome to Seriously. We're your host. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Ellie.
And today we just have a bunch of fucking crazy shit to talk about, which is kind of every week, but particularly this week.
Yeah, we were talking about before we started that it's like a week of Seriouslys.
Yeah.
And we've said that, I think, a bunch of different times, that every single week is like, oh my God, well, we pick. But this one was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like every day, then I just really kind of could not believe what I was hearing. From the ridiculous to the dangerous, the Trump administration and others around them covered all of that shit this week. The full gamut.
Yeah.
The full gambit.
The full gambit.
Or the gamut. So where should we start?
I don't think we're going to go in chronological order. I wanted to start with the United Nations.
Okay.
First off,
there's a bunch of stuff even that topic, there's a bunch of, I don't even know. Are you talking about the content of Trump's insane speech? Are you talking about the escalator gate? Or the, why wasn't he asked to be a contractor with some bullshit? Maybe that was with the escalators. Yeah. So which of those things?
We could talk about all of them. Yeah. I mean, the first thing that I wanted to say is about the escalator, because
I love the escalator crap.
Maybe it really legitimately was just a coincidence, but if not, good on whoever's running the escalators at the UN building. Because it was fucking funny.
Well, so the last I heard about this, in terms of the deep investigation that has been, launched, I guess, by the Trump press secretary and whatever, every asshole on the right being like, we're gonna look into this, is that Trump's own TV guy accidentally pushed the off button or something on the escalator. So I don't know if that's been confirmed, but that was amusing to me. But which of course, yes, because self-inflicted wounds are and also things that aren't even a wound. Who the fuck cares? The escalator stopped working while you were on it. Who the fuck cares? Whatever.
I mean, I guess obviously if our listeners don't know.
Let's explain
So the fucking president goes to the UN this week, and he and Melania and their whole, gaggle of sycophants walked up to the escalator, and they stepped onto the escalator, and it stops almost immediately. And we do have the video, so we'll play the video.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you want to see it?
Yeah,
okay, let's do it. Let's watch the video. There's not a lot of sound, so yeah, they're just walking towards the escalator, and boop, it just stops. and they're like looking around. This is the best part though. Melania, I'm not a
She's
big
just acting
fan,
normal.
but she's like,
Yes.
hello, she's like
Yeah.
boss lady. She's like, I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm wearing like 6-inch stilettos. I'm walking up. Sorry, you fat fuck behind me, if you're like upset that you have to walk up
Right.
what
No,
essentially are just
she
stairs.
reacted like a normal person would. We're like, okay, the
Yeah.
escalator stopped. And we know how to do
Yeah.
this. They're stairs now. When an escalator stops, it just makes them into stairs.
There's this really funny comedian. He is no longer with us. I don't exactly remember when he passed away, but it was a long time ago. But his name is Mitch Hedberg, and he had like a very deadpan delivery, and he was mine and my brother's like favorite for a long time. And he has this really funny bit. I'll have to find it and put it in.
I like an escalator, man, because an escalator can never break. It can only become stairs. All right. There would never be an escalator temporarily out of order sign. Only an escalator temporarily stairs. Sorry for the convenience.
Yeah.
So Trump was butthurt about that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so they assume. I don't even know actually if they assumed that it was done nefariously, which like was sort of what your import was before, which I do love the like maybe it was the passive resistance. Just that theory, although again, it may also have just been Trump's own person that accidentally pushes a button. But whatever. But whatever, he went like nuts. And all his people went nuts. That not only that this was embarrassing, like and disrespectful, absolutely disrespectful. That the UN like cannot have a functioning escalator while the president of the United States is on it, but also that it was dangerous. Did you hear any of that? This is really, to me, this is even more hilarious. That like he's like a sitting duck. He's like a sitting duck. Then he's like in one place. I assumed it was very quick because again, any normal person would be like,
They just
start walking.
Stairs.
So it was like 1 second that he was standing in one place inside the UN during the UN General Assembly. What are the chances that that's not a safe environment? Like every leader and their security are in the UN. I mean, it's just like this falls into the ridiculous, obviously. But also like into like the deep mentality with the MAGA movement and Fox News, who was going nuts about all of this, that like the need for grievances, right? The need for something to be going on where you are being victimized, where the president is being like embarrassed or somehow victimized.
He's just the biggest fucking titty baby.
Yes.
I mean, just
yes.
He's a whiny.
It's absurd. It's absurd. I mean, who would else even like? I mean, I can't even imagine thinking to like note this.
Okay. Well, so some genius made an AI video of Trump's speech to the UN where everyone in the video is a toddler because Trump is such a titty baby. So this is my special little treat for you because it's fucking awesome.
All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen. But she's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the two things I got from the United Nations, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. Thank you very much.
Too fucking much. I mean, again, with the grievance, I mean, it's just like, like this is the UN General Assembly. I mean, like there's so much going on. Like literally every leader in the world who like people talk to at all.
Yeah.
which includes Trump, thankfully for now. It's in New York. I mean, like this is in me. Like when I lived in New York, then when the UN was in session, it was a fucking nightmare. Like the streets are closed. Like it is a goddamn nightmare.
Mhm.
Like this is a huge logistical thing that the city, the country, and the UN is pulling off. So yeah, Trump can bitch that one escalator stopped working and that one teleprompter had some, delay issues. But like really, honestly, I mean, you and I have put on events not like that, like not on that scale.
Yeah.
Like that is like the least of things that any normal person would be like, well, this was a shit show. This
And
whole thing
also
was a shit
that
show.
It was intentional and
Yes.
directed at me
Yeah.
because the whole fucking world revolves around me.
Yes.
And I am going to throw a tantrum.
Right.
about-
Not just like sometimes things happen.
Yeah,
Sometimes
about
there's technology,
happening.
like literally both things that are just like technology issues. Like, yeah.
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 I don't even know. I mean, so he, the speech, it's so hard to tell what parts of speeches are actually written and then what he's ad-libbing. Like, was the whole section in that speech where he complains about not getting the contract to build the UN? Like, did someone write that into the speech or did he just
I mean,
decide that he wanted to talk about it?
Excellent point, because it used to be in Trump 1 that when he was doing bizarro riffs like that, I think we could assume that it was not written in the speech.
Right.
Because he had some normal people working for him. He now has no normal people working for him.
Mm-mm.
So it's very possible that that was like the planned speech. Usually I haven't watched him actually saying it. Usually you can tell in the delivery though, because he's horrible. This is why he needs a teleprompter. He's so bad at delivering
I know.
on the written speech. So you can there's huge tells if you're actually watching him.
That's true.
What's what is what.
There's some good examples that we'll talk about later on, well, in a minute, I guess, on the press conference on autism.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's high on my serious list for this
Oh my
week.
God. Anything
But what else did that motherfucker say at you? I mean,
well, okay. So the other thing is that he claimed that he's ended 7 wars. I didn't realize we were involved in 7 wars.
well, we weren't, but this is like, I mean,
Well, if he
obviously
ended
it's
them-
not true, but this is no, we weren't, he was just like, he talked to Thailand and I can't even remember. I mean, it's like conflicts that could have sort of started that, like, I'm sure that Trump had really very little to do, whatever. I mean, like as we all know, there are 2
Mhm.
that are the ones that are on everyone's radar in the whole world: Israel and Gaza, and Russia and Ukraine. Like other
He hasn't
other
solved those yet.
skirmishes and shit are happening all over the world all the time. Whether Trump's, like talking to, though there was some escalation with India and Pakistan. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, whether he had any like true involvement in de-escalating those things, I don't know.
Well, he fixed
Let's
them.
let's
He solved them.
let's give him that. Let's give him those other 5 that could have escalated, because that's all they were. They were things
Yeah.
that could have escalated but didn't. Let's give him that. So, but the 2
Yeah.
that everybody in the world is like just apoplectic about on various sides, but everybody is. I mean, he's done nothing, despite saying that on day 1, of course, he would fix it.
Well, now
I was
he's
glad to see he
realizing that-
switched
that-
to Zelensky, though.
Yeah, now he was realizing that maybe Putin and he didn't have the relationship that he thought he had with Putin,
But
which is interesting.
The bigger thing is that, and Zelensky at this point has played this pretty smart. I mean, like most of his speech to the UN was about how successful the Ukraine has been in developing drones,
Mhm.
how effective those drones have been, and how like they have the technology and they're willing to sell them to other folks. So Trump has decided that they're the winners.
Mhm.
He's only attracted to the winner in a situation, which I don't think is a good quality in general. I
Nope.
mean,
It's not principled.
sometimes no, well, it does. It's not moral. Like so, sometimes it's advantageous, but it's not moral. But whatever, like Zelensky knows that about him, and also what Zelensky was saying is true about the technology that they've developed.
Yeah.
But I think that's like, so in addition to like, yeah, like Putin breaking his heart, then Zelensky's also like seems like more of a winner, not like such of a loser. As Trump literally uses those words
Yeah.
all the time because, like, he's a child and everyone's either a winner or a loser. Then I think that's a lot of what happened. But I heard a good announcement. But like, so whatever. So now, yeah, Trump's like seems all in on Zelensky. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But the all in is just that the U.S. is going to supply weapons to the Europeans or to NATO to then supply to the Ukraine. And I heard somebody say yesterday, I thought it was like really spot on, that basically what that makes the US in this sort of moral scenario is like the Home Depot after a hurricane. That like, neighbors are helping each other after a hurricane because like they care about each other and they feel a moral imperative to do that. They go to Home Depot to get the supplies to help their neighbors.
That's right.
But Home Depot is just supplying things. They're not involved in a moral way. They're just like, hi, we're here to sell things and we will keep selling things. That's what we're doing. We're not like helping our neighbors or our allies. We're just like, we'll be Home Depot. We're available for buying.
Yeah.
During business hours.
Can I ask you a question? You have twice now said the Ukraine.
Yeah, well, that's how the Russians would say it, actually. But yeah,
I'm just
sorry. Yeah,
pointing
but
it
yeah,
out.
it is.
Okay.
That's how they.
Yeah, I haven't really heard anybody say that since like 1985.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Trump said some other insane shit at the UN, but
He
like,
did.
yeah.
Well, I did want to.
Again, we have so many to cover, but go
wanna
ahead.
Give him one tiny little point of credit in that a week or so ago, he was talking about one of the 7 wars that he ended, and he said that it was between and Albania or something. I don't even know. And he did pronounce Azerbaijan correctly in his UN speech. So at least somebody helped him because they did not prepare him
to say
pronounce acetaminophen.
Yeah, which
So
I
let's talk
mean,
about that.
yeah, which I mean, I think that while probably every American, wouldn't be able to pronounce Azerbaijan, although that goes to our educational system, every president should be able to. But I think basically everybody in the country can pronounce acetaminophen. Like that's like it shows like what one of the many things that my thoughts on this was like this just shows what a rich bitch Trump is too. That like that no time in his life did he go to CVS or Walgreens and buy the generic, right? Like we all know what acetaminophen is because like it's at least whether it's now or always like you go to the drugstore and you need a pain reliever and Tylenol's expensive. What's this other one that's the same thing? Oh yeah, it's acetaminophen. Like everybody knows how to pronounce that because it's the cheaper one. It's the generic that everybody buys. Trump's like, it's like my driver. When my driver went to the store in Queens, then, they just brought back Tylenol. Or I don't know.
Whatever.
They just brought me the bottle on a platter.
Doctor that came over and like,
yeah, whatever. It's just
gave him a real painkiller.
I think there's honestly like Trump, the whole Trump is an everyman is a bizarre thing that like somehow like, people who support him and I don't know if that's exactly why but like he has managed to appeal to the everyman. And this is just a small, but like other example of like, no, like he doesn't know just like the regular shit that like other people are dealing with. Like, hey, I need the cheaper one. What's that one called?
So Trump holds a press conference to talk about autism. That's what That's how this whole thing came up.
Mhm.
And I mean, there was a lot. First of all, it was an hour-long press conference, and fully 60% of it was him talking, and very little time was provided to the heads of agencies. Not that they're any smarter on this
No,
or any
or better
credible.
intent or have
Right,
better
exactly.
intent. Yeah.
But at least like they were somewhat prepared.
Yeah, no, right. I mean, normally, like, we all sort of remember this kind of shit during COVID, which actually there were lots to talk
Oh my
about,
God.
like, legitimately about how this was very much like vintage Trump during COVID. But, point being in terms of what regular order was like,
Mhm.
was like the governor or the mayor or the president or whomever would like go up, give like a little introduction,
And then he would
and then
exit
hand it over.
speak.
Yes.
No, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
So let's watch.
But also, like when you say he was like he was just riffing. Like he was literally like Trump talks about it doing his weave and whatever. Like this was like, I mean, he had no prepared remarks. He had no real like point that I mean he had a point that he was trying to make,
Mhm.
which was that like Tylenol bad, don't take it, which he basically said almost those exact words, just like that
Oh, yeah.
inarticulately.
Well, let's watch. So I
Yeah,
mean, it
yeah.
was an hour.
Right, of
But
him
this
just
is-
like
this is-
just rambling. Rambling is actually riffing is like the best for it's not talking, it's not riffing, it's rambling, just rambling.
So this is just a mashup. Actually, I have it open. This is a mashup of, I guess it's kind of like a highlights reel.
Great.
First, effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of well, let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen. Is that okay? Which is basically commonly known as Tylenol, during pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism. So taking Tylenol is not good. All right, I'll say it. It's not good. They are strongly recommending that women limit Tylenol use during pregnancy unless medically necessary. That's, for instance, in cases of extremely high fever, that you feel you can't tough it out, you can't do it. I guess there's that. It's a small number of cases, I think. All pregnant women should talk to their doctors for more information about limiting the use of this medication while pregnant. So ideally, you don't take it at all, but if you can't tough it out, or if there's a problem, you're going to end up doing it. Ideally, a woman won't take Tylenol. The other thing that I can tell you that I'll say that they will maybe say at a little bit later date, but I think when you go for the shot, you do it over a 5-time period. Take it over 5 times or 4 times, but you take it in smaller doses. Hepatitis B is sexually transmitted. There's no reason to give a baby that's almost just born hepatitis B. So I would say wait till the baby is 12 years old and formed and take hepatitis B. Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen. But with Tylenol, don't take it. Don't take it. And if you can't live, if your fever is so bad, you have to take one because there's no alternative to that. I just recommend strongly that you don't use Tylenol unless it's absolutely necessary. I understand it's maybe 10% of the women that are pregnant are, would perhaps be forced to use it. And that would mean you just can't tough it out. No matter what you do, you can't tough it out. So that's up to you and your doctor. But there's a very strong recommendation, maybe stronger from me than from the group because they're waiting for certain studies. I just want to say it like it is. Don't take Tylenol. They talk about, different results, different studies. I talk about a lot of common sense, and they have that too. They have that too a lot. If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol. When you have your baby, don't give your baby Tylenol. don't let them pump your baby up with the largest pile of stuff you've ever seen in your life going into the delicate little body of a baby, because it's too much liquid. Too many different things are going into that baby at too big a number. The size of this thing, when you look at it, see, Bobby wants to be very careful with what he says, and he should, but I'm not so careful with what I say.
He says acetaminophen after about 4 tries he gets it, and then it's basically it's Tylenol, and women should not take Tylenol during pregnancy because there's an increased risk of autism. And there's really not a whole lot of scientific data to back this up, but he is serious about it. And then the thing that I think was just so extraordinary was just tough it out, just the women, the women, you can't take it. Don't take it. Absolutely don't take it. Just tough it out. It's the only painkiller that you can take during pregnancy.
Plus also a fever reducer. That's I think that's gotten glossed over some in some of like the commentary about this. Like fevers are dangerous, can be dangerous in general, and certainly during pregnancy. So I mean, like, in addition to just what you're talking about, of course, with like that, like people may legitimately need pain relief. Hello.
Yeah.
Also, people may be sick.
Yeah.
And need to reduce their fever.
Especially if they get COVID, because now this same anti-health agency is also saying that pregnant women should not get the COVID vaccine.
And regular, like, what actual doctors, I should say, not right, what actual doctors say in these kinds of situations. So let's say, yes. So you're pregnant, you have a fever, and like, it's not like, life threatening, but like it's at a level that like could be dangerous to you or for your fetal development.
Mm-hmm.
Any doctor is going to say the risk benefit there is that you need to take Tylenol.
Right.
You need to take acetaminophen, because the risk of that is so much less than the risk of having a high fever
Mm-hmm.
during your pregnancy. So like, that's what everything is about with medicine. It's about like, you got to figure out like, like, this is where we are, and there's 2 courses. What is less risky here?
Yeah.
Like, but this kind of crap, of course, like, then like women are going to be, very, very nervous about taking acetaminophen for good reasons, because the goddamn president of the United States went on like a bizarro campaign about how like, just don't do it. What you're subjecting yourself and your not yet born child to is a higher risk of some sort of complication or like adverse outcome.
Yeah. And also like all the women who are pregnant now, who've like taken Tylenol, and now they're just, going to be panic stricken.
I know. I think it's, and even more so, I have friends, we all have friends, who have children who have autism or are on the spectrum, but, who, like are great kids, and people, parents are devoting like so much time, to trying to figure out like all the best interventions, because like there's tons of things that tons of interventions. There's like a whole range. Like, this is, kids who have autism, it's a big range of symptoms and outcomes, whatever. This is not like a monolithic sort of
Right.
thing, but like moms in particular are like, because of all of these like quack theories
Mhm.
out there, are like, second guessing themselves and beating themselves up all the time about like, maybe
What
if
did-
I had just
yeah.
done
What
this,
did I
maybe if
do?
I had
Yeah.
just done that, maybe, like, it's just, it's really, and and particularly honestly for parents who have like kids who have severe autism, where like, it's not, your kid is probably not going to be able to live like independently. I mean, like, that's something that you're dealing with and that you're heartbroken about like every day.
Mhm.
And now we have just like other quack theories going around that like, oh, remember that one time? Didn't you one time take a Tylenol?
Yeah.
Like, remember that? Yeah, that's
So
probably
then
what
Nancy
happened.
Mace is doing some fucking interview, and listen to what she says.
I don't know if you guys have been on social media this morning, but you've got pregnant women recording videos of themselves taking Tylenol, which has now been linked to autism, and they hate Trump more than they love their babies. I mean, that, to me, it is so insane on where we are today. Like, the Democrat Party has some ownership in this, and they need to take responsibility for this. They're denying science. They're denying there's violence when they're egging it on. And we can't get past that until they recognize their role in it.
What? Oh my God. Fuck? There's, as always, there's so much to unpack there.
What?
Like, first of all, what does the Democratic Party have to do with any of that?
I mean, she was on there to sort of talk about the ICE shooting specifically.
still,
Then she
she's
brings
talking
up
about
this
just-
issue of Tylenol.
But I mean, like,
And she says because now Tylenol has been linked to autism, which is
of
not
course,
true.
no, I know. I mean, that's what I mean. So that, I mean, that is objectively not true.
Right.
To be clear, and I'm sure that anybody who is listening to this knows this.
Yes.
That like the research on Tylenol and autism like is inconclusive. Like there's like there have been studies on this. There's some correlation. The authors of those studies themselves have said
Please,
that like it
not
was
what we're saying.
that it's
Yeah.
inconclusive, that like they're like there is, you know, this is that's what science is supposed to be like, hey, we studied this, like we've now found this little piece of information.
Well,
We need to figure out, you know, like it's totally
they're
inconclusive.
studying like 100
That-
different
oh
things
yes, absolutely.
that, you know, they're trying to figure out, does this have anything to do with autism? Tylenol is one of them. You know what another one is? Old fucking dick, old
Yeah.
sperm.
Which actually, that one though, like researchers think it is accurate.
Yes.
There's actually a lot of evidence that that is accurate.
Actually, so studies have shown a consistent association between increased paternal age and an elevated risk of autism spectrum disorder. And it's particularly pronounced for fathers aged 40 years or older, with an increased risk of up to 60% compared to fathers in their 20s.
I have heard multiple, I mean, this is long before this, but in the past few months, you know, multiple researchers, qualified researchers on NPR say this.
Yes.
So I've heard people make jokes about this theory like in the past week, but this actually, like from what I know, is
It can be
pretty
funny
credible
and also true. And
but there's some actual research, like
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, like the consensus is that this is a multi-factor issue. That there
Exactly.
is not one thing. So that's really kind of important here. But
you can reduce
the
your
fact
risk by
of
not being
not fucking
old.
old people. That's
Yeah. I mean, I think this is a really good argument for regulating Viagra and, you know,
It's true.
penis enhancement medication as controlled dangerous substances, you know?
Yeah,
Like just
that's
because you
true.
can get your dick up at age 60 doesn't mean you should be impregnating anybody.
Yeah, and of course, lots of the jokes were that, you know, neither RFK or Trump were gonna point to this as like a possible. But there's way more credible research that this is like a contributing factor. But sort of along those lines, then I had forgotten this, but like I think it's really like smart, like in terms of what the driving factor of this like press conference was to begin with. Is that RFK said, you know, like months ago, that like by September, we're going to have an answer about autism and what causes autism. Which I can't remember who wrote that, but the quip after that was like, yeah, because that's how science works. It's like a predictive date for when we'll have the answer. So I mean that's what's happening.
But
It's like they want to come out with some sort of stupid fucking announcement because they announced that they were gonna have an announcement, and now they're like, I mean, like there was a study that like showed like something that might be happening. I mean, it's not conclusive, it was just correlation, but like let's go with Down.
But Trump
That's
also,
in our
I mean,
wheelhouse.
the other thing is like throughout this news conference, he also just keeps saying like, you know, that's just how I feel.
Yes.
MMR, I think, should be taken separately. This is based on what I feel, the mumps, measles, and all the three should be taken separately.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
you know,
That's really
the
the most,
scientists behind may not say this because they're looking at research, but I don't care about research.
that's the most incredible.
It's so fucking dangerous.
The most but the most incredible part, the dangerous part is that this is not backed by science
Mhm.
and that people are going to be very concerned.
And then Nancy Mesa saying that we're the ones that don't care about science.
Yes. And again, that Democrats, when like, also she's just referring to like what random people's response to this
Right.
is. So, I take issue with like, again, what just any random person does being linked to the Democrats. But yeah, the reason the press conference was off the rails, goddamn crazy for people, I'm sure most people watched it and will have like the clip, was like, yeah, it was vintage Trump COVID. It was just like, he was just like, I mean, my feeling is, that people shouldn't do it. The Amish community has no autism.
Mhm.
In Cuba,
Yeah.
they don't have any Tylenol.
And then he turns around
and
and
they
he's
also
like,
have, is that
Wait,
right? Is that right? Is that right?
Can I say that? Is that?
And by the way, I think I can say that there are certain groups of people that don't take vaccines and don't take any pills that have no autism. That have no autism. Does that tell you something? That's currently, is that a correct statement, by the way?
What the
Which
fuck?
none of it was right.
No.
I mean, none of it was right. He openly said, she was like, yeah, Bobby, this being RFK Jr., like he's really worried about getting it right. He needs to be worried about that. But like, I'm not worried about
I don't
that.
worry about it.
I mean, like, which first of all, RFK Jr. ain't worried about getting it right. Second of all, you're the goddamn president of the United States and is like, purportedly rolling out some like in very important health announcement. Because then also they launched into vaccine. He launched into vaccines, the MMR vaccine. I mean, it was a wide ranging like attack on public health. I think it's fair to say that was with no scientific basis and also no preparation by Trump. One of the other things that I loved in commentary that I saw that like is just so spot on is that it was vintage Trump that like he's, speaking extensively about something that he has no expertise in and clearly is not prepared.
Yeah.
Like just gonna wing it. Just gonna wing it. Like what president, like, people who listen to the show know I sometimes wing it. I got a lot of expertise in these topics.
Like
Like what?
At least read.
100%. I mean, who would do, I mean, what regular, what, like, what, I can't even think of just like, the more lower level, just anybody who would have a press conference to talk about something that they don't know anything about. And that, like by training.
Yeah.
And that they like have informed themselves of almost zero. And they're like, yeah, no, let's do it. Let's just do it. I'm just going to like talk about that. That sounds good. Let's just do it. Let's get all the cameras.
I mean, it sounds like
I'm going to talk for like an
literally
hour
5
about
minutes
it.
before they walked into that room, somebody said, well, we're investing in all this research and there's some research that, has this link to acetaminophen. And then he was like, all right, cool.
Yeah,
I'll
let's
roll
go.
with that.
Let's
I'll roll
go
with that.
Yeah, RFK is like, I said we'd have an answer by September, and we have the answer, Mr. President. It's Tylenol. And he's like, yeah, all right, let's go.
He
Let's
also
go.
said that we shouldn't give babies hepatitis B vaccines because they're babies and that's a sexually transmitted disease.
I mean, he also said the MMR vaccine should be separated out because it's too much liquid. It's too much liquid. It's like in addition to other things, like he said to about that there's like 80 different vaccines that are being given. It's
kids,
too
have you
much
seen the size
liquid.
of that thing?
This also shows that he never went to any appointments, any with his children, right?
Yeah.
All the mothers of his various children, he never attended a single doctor's appointment, is what this is sort of evidence of. Because everybody knows like it's a pretty little vial.
My God.
regardless, yeah.
What else do we need to say?
He didn't know what the R was, of course, in
No.
the MMR. I mean,
He'd already
it's
fucked
just
up his
ridiculous.
acetaminophen, so maybe he just wasn't going to risk it.
He did not know what it was. You could see where he
Yeah,
got
yeah.
to it, where it's like
Measles,
he sort of he did a pretty smooth transition on that, like as opposed to with just literally like mispronouncing acetaminophen like about
Well, let's see.
3 or 4 times. But yeah, again, like this, it's dangerous and it's ridiculous, and like he didn't have to do like you don't have to do this, man. This is like
Just let
know,
RFK
yeah,
out there and
yeah.
hold a press.
He also has no subject matter expertise, but he'll be prepared
My
to
God.
spread misinformation. You are even more unprepared, or you are just totally unprepared to spread
like,
misinformation. So then it's even more misinformation. I mean, it's just so, yeah. It's
But also,
bizarre. It's bizarre.
he still doesn't really. He still doesn't really understand
What being the president of the United States is
right,
about.
and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
power of what he says turning into
No,
action.
he likes attention, and he wants to and like, so if like, it's like when you used to call into to radio shows and pretend to be somebody else, like
Yeah.
like if people will listen, like if the cameras will come and people will listen, he's ready to jam. Like, let's talk.
All right.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that.
Well, he mentions ivermectin in one fucking press conference, and we're still fucking dealing with legislation about ivermectin 4
Yes.
years later. All right, this is my
Tylenol needs to sue them.
thank you. That was going to be my
That
question.
is
That was gonna be
my
my question. Can Tylenol sue him?
I mean, I said this a couple of weeks ago. I don't think we've actually aired that one yet. I mean, like, Tylenol should sue. I mean, they should. Like the company that owns Tylenol,
Yeah.
should sue. That is my opinion of this. I haven't done like a deep dive into thinking about it, but like, I mean, the damage that is being done to their brand
Would be what would it be?
I mean, probably defamation.
Okay.
I mean, the only challenge would be is that, like, you know,
You'd have to show that
that
he
it's
knew-
actually false.
that it's actually false and that he knew that it was.
But you don't have to just do Trump. I mean, this is coming out from other parts of our government as
Okay.
well. So I mean, there's multiple people that you could, because I mean, the FDA should know that it's false. I think that, I mean, to me, just sort of like baseline, it's like, the cities have shown that, like, there's like maybe, we don't know yet, but like the cities don't show that, like, it's unequivocally false that there's a link between Tylenol and autism. So, that's probably the challenge, why there hasn't already
It's
been
like,
a
it's
lawsuit.
bad. Don't take it.
Yeah.
Don't take it. Don't give it to babies. Like,
Yeah.
don't take Tylenol. He's like, stay away from Tylenol. It's dangerous. It's bad. Like that was, he said it like 8,000 times during that press conference.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, I would be heavily looking into, to litigation if I were
right.
representing them.
I'm going to go buy some Tylenol just to support that.
I know, exactly. I mean,
I don't take it because it's kind of like a placebo. Like, it really doesn't. I mean, it does. It is a
I'm
fever.
more of an ibuprofen
Yeah,
girl,
same.
but yeah.
You can't take that when you're pregnant.
I know.
You can't take anything else when you're pregnant.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to think about, honestly, from a legal perspective, like, what else can, and again, they're a big enough operation. They've got lawyers to think about it. So, like, what other claims do you have when the government is just like arbitrarily harming you and harming your brand, but not like in a regulatory way? Like, because they're not regulating it. Like, they're not like normally that would be what would happen.
Yeah.
Is like the FDA is putting out regulations that then you say, like, these are arbitrary and capricious as they're not supported by evidence, which would be true here.
Yeah.
But they're not doing that. They're just maligning them. And yeah, so I don't know.
Okay.
There's I mean, because beyond Thailand, I mean, I think we could imagine that this is going to be a recurring tactic. I mean, they don't give a shit about Thailand. They're not trying to malign Thailand. They just need a villain, and they can't
And it's
figure
not
out
going to be
what.
old Dick.
Yeah, exactly. And like the the real answer is there needs to be a lot more research and it's complicated. And they're like, yeah, that's like, we don't like that though. Like, that's not a
not
good
an answer by the end of the
Yeah,
month.
it's not an answer by
Promise.
September.
Yeah.
And we said that 6 months ago. So anyway, yeah.
All right. The last thing that I had on my list, I kind of want to save for the end. So what did you want to talk about?
So I have two series that are very unrelated to politics, or sort of unrelated to politics. But so number one is that this week the rapture again did not happen. And for those who know me, then like I'm like I've kind of like a semi-obsession with the rapture. I love the rapture. I love a good rapture joke.
Was the rapture supposed to happen this week?
Yeah, there was I didn't even know it on the front end.
Okay.
But now I've heard since. So yeah, there was another prediction of the rapture that it was gonna happen this week. I think it was 23rd or 24th, something like that.
Okay.
So like a lot of people though, like a lot of people were, social media-ish people, crazy Christian social media were getting ready for the rapture. So I love the rapture. I love it. I love everything about the rapture. I love all the jokes about it. And I love it that it never happens. And these fucking people are always like, but this week then, yeah. So, normally my seriously on that would be that like, why do the crazy Christians like continue over and over and over again to believe that like with these predictions? Like, I mean, setting aside that like believing in the rapture period to me is crazy.
Mhm.
But like beyond that, the predictions of like a date certain when it's going to happen have happened over and over and over and over again. And of course, have never come true. So, you guys just look like dumbasses every single time, but you keep doing it. But at this point, then my seriously is like, fucking take these people, man.
Yeah. I
Fucking
was gonna say
take
the
them.
same thing,
Like,
yeah.
like just
If ever there
like,
was a good
why
time-
did the rapture not happen?
Please,
That is,
rapture.
please take them. Please take them. I am so annoyed that the rapture did not happen. Not that the people who thought it was going to happen look like idiots.
This would be good timing for the rapture.
I'm ready. I'm ready to take my chances. I'm
Yeah.
ready to take my chances on Earth with the plagues and the frogs from the sky, or whatever the other
Burning.
bullshit is
Yeah.
that's supposed to happen. I'm ready to take my chances without those people, without the crazy Christian white nationalists around. Take them.
I would rather
That's number
burn
one,
for
seriously.
eternity at this point than ever listen to Trump do another press conference.
And take my chances on Earth.
Yeah.
Like it's the people that like are gonna get raptured are ruining things on Earth as we know it right now. So yeah, go ahead and take them. I'll take my chances on what comes next.
I like this. This is a good take. This is a good take. It's funny because earlier this week I was listening to this book called Nuclear War by Anne Jacobson, I think is her name. And it's a real fucked up book. But anyway, it like walks you through a scenario of like how nuclear war would happen. And it's really terrifying. But also I'm listening to it and I'm like, oh God, this is so scary. And then I'm like, but maybe it's not such a bad idea.
Like
right
we might
now.
need a
Yeah.
nuclear option.
Like, I mean, let's just let the earth start over again, just wipe it.
You're talking about
Wipe-
just
wipe
you're
the-
talking about just
wipe-
the full,
Yeah, the full thing.
Because I was thinking, do we join we start building a bunker? Or should we try to start building?
No, I think just like, let's just,
I don't really want to be around. So
no,
yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm I'm not
This is pretty dark.
I'm
but-
not afraid of death to me is like, yeah, but that's fine. It's coming. If it's today, if it's tomorrow. I mean, I'm not like, like I'm ready to die, but also if it happens, it happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
All right.
my second sort of unpolitical seriously is that, but still in the same vein in some ways, that so folks who know me know that like I'm very into decorating my house. People who also just have seen the clips, on Instagram or YouTube, see I'm into decorating my house, and like I like a lot of color. So every year then they come out with the color of the year. So Sherwin-Williams just came out with the color of the year for 2026, and it's universal khaki. I do not want to be living in a universal khaki kind of world in 2026. Like, it's like so depressing.
Looking it up.
I mean, it's like, so just to give people context, like in past years, then like the color of the year is like periwinkle or like a really nice like green, like, it's like something that's like you're kind of like excited about. Like, I already feel like 2026 is going to be a universal khaki kind of year. I'm it's just it's
Mhm.
100% the wrong, right? I mean, like,
Yeah.
it feels like dread. It feels like dread. That's what universal khaki feels like. But on a hopeful note, I will say, this is just Sherwin-Williams' take on the color of the year. As everyone knows, Pantone is who really picks the color of the year.
Oh, okay.
And so, for all the people at Pantone who are listening, because obviously this is one of the most popular podcasts in America, so some people from Pantone are listening. They have not announced their color yet, but the color watchers, I googled this right before the show. Their color watcher or the color watchers say they think it might be transformative teal, Michelle. Transformative teal. So
I love it.
Pantone, yeah, Pantone. Do a beleaguered girl in Louisiana who loves color a solid and make transformative teal the color of 2026. I can't live through universal khaki as being the color.
Dread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my other seriously.
Maybe they could pick nuclear ash.
Yeah. I mean, that would be sort of spot on, but that's a better color than
Yeah.
universal khaki.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's
Fallout
like,
gray.
Universal khaki both
Yeah.
has like some like it's got some brown shirts vibe to it, but also just boring. It's just boring. Boring. I'm not interested in that. Pantone, come on.
Yeah. Swastika red.
I'm okay with that.
That's the color of the
I
year.
don't think they would call it that, but yeah.
Mhm.
But something that's yeah. Come on, give us something, yeah, it's supposed to be like bright, something that like it's supposed to be what like informs like the year. Like, what the
It does,
mood,
I
what the
mean-
mood of the year. They're predicting the mood of the year.
To
That's
be
the
bleh.
Yes, exactly. They're predicting the mood of the year to be wah, wah, wah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, so
I didn't
I'm
even-
not into it.
I'm learning new stuff because I had no idea that the color of the year was
See,
the thing that existed.
I've got other interests, the rapture and the color of the year.
know.
Just into politics and law.
Remember when we went to the beach last year, was it? And I brought a book to read on the beach and you brought all these like
Design
fancy
magazines.
home design magazines.
I do.
I was like,
showing
these
us,
are
like,
lovely.
see?
Yeah.
Look,
I
see,
was
look.
like, these are great.
No universal khaki in that motherfucker.
I know. Also, no thing that I could actually afford to buy and put in my house
No,
either.
I mean,
But
that's all aspect. But it just gives you good ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. Well,
What's the last thing?
the last thing
I need
is
I do need a refill. for this.
well, let's just get through this. I think that this could just
All
be
right.
the last thing and then
Yeah.
we can wrap it up.
Okay.
So, Trump has hung pictures of all the presidents in the hallway leading up to the Oval Office. And so Newsmax put this video out and there's no like talking. So I'm just going to explain what is happening. So this is the hall of presidents.
Yes.
Okay. And so you get to Obama and then you get to Trump. And then the next one is a picture of the auto pin. Not Biden, the auto pin.
Oh, shut up.
I swear to God.
Oh my God.
This is
I
in the
see.
White
Oh
House.
my God. Oh.
I don't even know what to say about that. That is the most fucking ridiculous thing. Petty. I
Oh.
mean, it's funny,
Yes. But that's
but
like a
not to
joke.
the White
That's a
House.
joke you make at like the White House Correspondents' Center if Trump went to it, because he won't, because
Yeah.
he's a fucking pussy and like, doesn't want to get any jokes made about him. Like, yeah, like that's
That's
a
like the
joke you make
intro
there. Like,
to-
I should have done blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like that's like the official portraits. Then Joe Biden is not featured. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's so.
Yeah, Joe Biden was never president, according to this White House.
And there was an oh my God, that's I mean,
It's
this
insane.
is also again where there's no one in the White House down to like the decorators apparently,
Who are like,
like
actually,
come
no,
on,
we're not gonna. I mean, that's
like
yeah.
that's really like we can't do that or like we shouldn't do
Yeah.
that. Then that we'll really press him on that case. People are
Mhm.
like, yeah, that's hilarious. Let's just do that. Or like, that's ridiculous. Whatever.
Yeah. All right.
We're
What
back,
are the
we're
people
back.
supposed to do, Ellie?
Well, obviously, I mean, this is as referenced previously, then this is all the people at Panatone will know because they're going to be listening to this. This is one of the most popular podcasts in America.
Mhm.
But people notwithstanding, we still need your reviews and your rating and your subscribing and your watching us and telling your friends on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast, and also send us your seriously moments.
Yeah. Leave us comments that we
Yeah, that's true.
missed.
Yeah, comments on the apps or
Yeah.
the voicemail. But yeah,
That'd be great.
yeah. If you let us know what your rapture and or Panatone seriously is.
Yeah. What is your color of the year?
Yes. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Is it universal khaki?
Mhm.
I don't think so.
It's bleh. Okay. Well, we will maybe talk to you next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Seriously is presented by Lift Louisiana, a nonprofit organization advocating for reproductive health rights and justice.